Here is a picture of Egyptian woman offering food to the god. And here is the seal from Indus Valley civilization known as Pasupati seal. And it have not yet been deciphered, but it might be something praising the Pasupati. And this is the second temple built before the Jesus Christ. So we started giving our resources to the imaginary alpha, which continues even till date. We offer food, we offer money, and we praise the name of the god. In return, we expect him to save us from the uncertainties of the life itself. People even went to war to save this imaginary alpha from the another imaginary alpha different people had. So these kind of fear they had over this imaginary person. So this had to be made use of. So long back there lived a guy named Moses. He formed a country in Middle East. So he wanted to keep the people in line. So he made use of the people's respect and fear over the alpha. So one day he saw the burning bush near Mount Sinai. So he went to the top of the hill where he met the god, the greatest alpha. And the alpha told him 10 rules that the people should follow. This might have happened, or at least this is what he told to the people whom he brought from the Egypt. So if we see clearly the 10 commandments of Moses, 10 commandments which was brought by Moses in the tablet. So if we see, it's more like how to keep a group of people in line. So if we see, you should not steal, you should not kill one another. If it is from Moses or a man, then people will take it lightly. If Moses can't be monitoring them all the time, right? But if he tells that it was told by God who can monitor all the time, then they would be following that. They will at least consider that. Some people saw this who came way after Moses. So if God can talk to him, they can talk to us also. So they said the same thing what Moses said, and they set the group of people to respect them. They become the imaginary alpha's image in the world. They got the respect and resources whatever they were already offering to the god. And these people made sure that only their generation can talk to God, so that to ensure that their offspring also enjoys the same respect and resources they did. This happened during the second urbanization, when people started living in cities. So there were enough resources for people to live. They need not to gather or hunt. So these kind of changes happened. In India during this time there were 16 Mahajanpadas, means 16 countries. Above Koshala you can see Shakya was there. And in that near Nepal there was a city called Lumbini, and in that born Siddhartha, who was later known as Gautama Buddha. He was prince actually, so he renounced all his assets. He didn't inherit any of them. In his 29th year, he left all his position and he roamed all around India. And after like 6 years, during his 35th year, he came to Gaya, which is in present day Bihar. So after taking bath in Niranjana river, Buddha sat under. He was not Buddha there, he was Siddhartha. After getting enlightenment he became Buddha. So he sat under peepal tree, which is now known as Bodhi tree, because he got enlightened there. So when he sat there and started meditating, his Kundalini said to be the power which is residing in our body, rose and it flourished in his head, and he got enlightened. So Kundalini is said to be like a snake which goes, and these each are called as chakras in our body. So Kundalini resides usually in the Mooladhara chakra. From that it will rise like a snake, and it goes to the Sahasrara chakra. Whenever it reaches the crown, then the person is said to be enlightened, and he is aware of his own body and the whole universe. So this is represented by the snake. This is the picture in Bodh Gaya, if you go there, where the Buddha actually got enlightened. And if you can see there, this coiled snake rises up, and it's having its hood around the Buddha. This is actually representing the rise of Kundalini. In the third picture also you can see the same thing. In the middle one, it's not Buddha, it's actually Mahavira. In the case of Mahavira, people usually represent the rising of Kundalini as the flower as shown here. So people found out the way. They had time to sit and meditate and find that they could reach where they can realize the ultimate reality, and they call this process as nirvana or nibbana, in English getting enlightened. So Buddha got enlightened. After getting enlightened in Gaya, Buddha sat there for 7 weeks. He observed the universe with the new knowledge he got. And the first word he spoke, this is not the lesson. His first lesson was Dhammachakra Pravartana, which was given in Sarnath, near Varanasi. I do not call one a Brahman because he is born to a Brahman mother. I call him Brahman, one who possesses nothing and who takes nothing. So this was later recorded in the Sutta. So this is against the inheritance. So if you are the one who have the ability to talk to God, that doesn't mean your son will also have the same thing. He broke that rule. Then comes the argument from the society that it was created by God, and he was forced to reject the God too. There was habit of creating yajna where they burnt the animals alive, and Buddha was against that also. He was never against non-vegetarianism, he was against animal cruelty. Burning a animal alive is not necessary. You can painlessly kill and eat it. Now the woman need not to be woman is trading of nothing now in the society. Men and women have the same uncertainty. No men have is experiencing the uncertainty more than the woman. They all have the same certain life. That didn't stop the woman from attaining social stature of any kind. He joined women also in his crew. Not only Buddha, many people at that time were posing these rituals which was given to that imaginary alpha whom they called as God. Socrates, Mahavira, Markali Koshala. These all people lived during the second urbanization time when people had the social structure of the human changed. If we see clearly, if there is a man, if there is a power that created the universe, then it should maintain it with the same decency as we expect it to. But that is not happening if we look around. The God which who gave the intuition to us that monogamy is good, gave the intuition to other species that polygamy is good. Some animals eating their own babies is good. Red crab will eat their own babies. A Komodo dragon will eat their own babies. So if we consider that is not a good character, that's not a decent character, but according to God that is okay. Uh, if we ask a human, it's not okay that a child to die in his young age, but according to God it's okay. Many people die. If he has the power to stop, then he have to stop it, but according to him it's okay. So if there is a power that created the universe, there is no use of praying it, because it doesn't go with the rules we have. Whatever we think is good and bad is not good and bad for it. Universe happens by its own rules. This is what the point of Siddhartha Gautama. If you see the Thiruvalluvar, who lived 200 300 years after Buddha, irandum uyir வாழ்தல் வேண்டின் பறந்து கெடுக உலகு ஏற்றியான். So if someone must beg and live, let the creator of the world himself roam and perish. There's an anger over this alpha. He doesn't run the world as we expect it to be. So there is no use of respecting or giving resources to him. He only creates war and disease and destructions. So this is the point of Siddhartha Gautama. So how to come out of the uncertainty that life has in on itself? So that's the noble truth. First, we should know what type of uncertainties we go through. There are four noble truths said by Buddha, which we will see in our later